Varaždin, and Dinko sent me a message, and he told me that Paul is coming to Eurotour.
Damn, we really need to pull the strings here because I know it's gonna help us bring other people here to see that.
But still not for sure, and we were both like, oh wow, really? Thrilled?
Sorry, Dinko, what Paul? What Paul McBeth? Paul McBeth is coming to Varaždin. That was my reaction.
And he told me like, sit down, I got news. And I was like, okay, what's going on? Paul is coming. And I was like, oh. It was great news. I shared the news with Tina via messages. It put a spotlight on us and it gave us a higher task to prepare everything even better than we were planning to.
So we woke up at around 3, a little before 3 to head to the airport. Classic 3 a.m. departure.
At least it's not pitch black.
We are headed to Zagreb, but first we gotta fly into, oh no, we're flying into Zagreb, and then we're driving to Varaždin, which is about an hour or so north of the city, so yeah, we got a long day of travel ahead of us. It's 3 o'clock now, and I don't think we'll be at our hotel until close to noon, so I don't know the time difference or anything, but if there is one. But we will be traveling all day today, half the day. The question I'm always getting is, why are you in Europe? Why are you here? Why aren't you playing the tournaments in the States right now? Well, the answer to that is I've been trying to come to Europe for an extensive time for quite a few years now. In 2020, I had it on my schedule that I was going to come over here and play like 5 or 6 tournaments. We're headed to Croatia for the Pro Forester, stop one of the Eurotour. Yeah, the Eurotour. So, hoping to get an early lead on the point series. I have €6, I think. No, less than €4. Everything went smooth, got the rental car returned, landed in Warsaw, Poland, had an hour layover. Now we are in the car, got the rental car nice and smooth, and now we are on our way to Varaždin. So this has just been on my radar for a really long time. I did a long, extensive trip in Europe in 2011. It was my first trip over to Europe, and disc golf was a lot different back then, but it was such a learning experience for me because it was so uncomfortable being somewhere where you didn't know the languages, you didn't know the food, you didn't know really anything besides disc golf. Like that's where the comfort was on the course. It was such a welcoming experience and such an eye-opening experience that I wanted to do that again, but now I'm in a lot different position than I was back in 2011. So like I've done little tours in Finland, little things like that, but nothing to this extent. So that's why I'm here.
Well, he had talked about this, doing something like this last year. And that was the first time I had heard about it, but at the time we made our plans, we weren't aware of Paul's. I wasn't aware that he was actually gonna do it this year. I think last year it might have been a little COVID related, remnants of the pandemic, throwing a couple wrenches into his plans in 2022. But for 2023, like I said, we were talking about this and planning it since the summer 2022, made our plans, selected the events, and then Paul called about something else, and then he started talking about, hey, just so you know, I won't be, at as many Disc Golf Pro Tour events this year. And I said, that's a bummer. What's going on? He explained, hey, I'm actually going to do the Euro trip this year and go and play a lot of events in Europe. And so I said, well, that might not be, necessarily so bad. There may be some synchronicity here because we've just set our schedule. So we compared notes and found out that for I think 6 of the events he was going to be at, not all of them. The Estonian Open, Pro Forester, we weren't covering those, but we were doing these first two, the two in Sweden, and going to end with PCS and European Open. So, you know, that's when we started talking about, you know, the production around documenting his travels. And it's going to be quite the journey because the European Open is so meaningful in so many ways, so many people. It's a major. Paul's kind of said it before. It's what he's looking to put on his resume at this point in time. More major championships. And the European Open and Paul McBeth have a very important relationship too. The fact that he's won 5 of them has not only elevated, you know, his status, but maybe the event even. Watching him on like a march to the European Open is quite compelling. I think it's been a great serendipitous, you know, fact that we're able to cover a lot of this live and tell the story on the way to what is, you know, maybe a record-breaking major for him.
I think the major titles are the biggest titles to win. You know, so any tournament that's not a major is definitely preparation. You know, you go into every event wanting to play your best, but if you don't, and even if you do, you need to take lessons from those. I feel like every tournament leading up to a major is preparation for those. And I'm fortunate because the European Open and these European style courses are pretty similar. And then as far as Worlds too, these are very similar to what Worlds is like this year up in Vermont. So I feel like I'm getting a lot of preparation for those 2 events. USDGC is very unique. You know, there's not many courses we play like it. I think these are great preparation for that. And I think it's exactly where I need to be and what I need to be doing if I want to continue to chase these majors.
The city of Varaždin is located in the northwest of Croatia. It's very close to our border with Hungary and Slovenia. Even Austria is like 1 hour or maybe hour 30 by car.
Small town with, I think, 46,000 people.
Well, Varaždin is one beautiful little city. Its history is pretty long. Since 12th century, it's known as Baroque pearl of this part of the country.
The city itself is like 40,000 people, and so not too big. In the area it's rather small. You can get by bicycle from one other to another side of the city in like 20 minutes.
They got a lot of actual ancient ruins from the Roman time and very well-known spots from the Roman time back then. So it's really cool to get history from that far back and a different time like that, and also like the wineries and stuff like that. So just learning more history and how much more there is that we didn't get to see in our week's time here. So if you're ever thinking about going on a vacation spot with some disc golf, this is not a bad place to go. So we are downtown. We're walking around right now. We're about to go to the, did you say it was a church or the?
It's an old castle museum.
It's an old castle museum. So we're gonna go get some history. I got Maya, Tina, and then Dinko's somewhere back there. He'll be catching up, but we're gonna just go explore for a little bit before meeting the mayor. Hello. Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Ovo je Dinko, Šimenc, on je moj brat, Tina.
Drago mi je.
First impression about Varaždin?
It's beautiful. Yeah, I've never been to Croatia, and then Varaždin's the first place I've been. And my personal journey, I started in 2004. I first found out about disc golf in 2004.
20 years.
Yeah.
In this sport.
Yep, almost 20 years in the sport, and I went professional when I turned 17 in 2007. So it pretty much has been my whole life. It's been the majority of my life playing disc golf, and if it wasn't for disc golf, I would not be where I am now, and like I would not have seen as much of the world as I have. So it's incredible, you know, what disc golf has done for myself and so many others, and just how many countries it's been able to find, I should say.
And we are small disc golf community with 2 clubs. One is Lagoda Club and one is Varaždin. When they started to play disc golf, they were playing in Austria. In Croatia, we don't have any courses. So the first course was in Martinuševec, which is in Međimurje, but it wasn't permanent and it wasn't playable.
Of course, in Croatia there was no real disc golf scene, so we had to play in other countries. There was the one course where a guy who saw it in USA and loved it installed, and they made their own baskets, and few of them were playing for a few years. And then when Dinko discovered that, we joined them. But soon we wanted to experience more courses, to meet more people, so we started traveling to neighboring countries like Austria, sometimes Hungary. And we thought, why wouldn't we have this here? Why wouldn't we bring all these people to Varaždin and Croatia to play disc golf? So that's how it started.
It takes a lot to grow the sport in Croatia. One is, even though it's a not expensive sport, average monthly income per person in Croatia is around 1,000 euros.
Well, challenge here is to get to know people, understand what disc golf is, that is a sport that exists, that it's not something we invented. Luckily now in Varaždin it's already known. A lot of people will walk here and ask, if somebody will ask what's this, the other person will know to respond, oh, this is for the disc golf tournament, and we like that. It happened like a few years ago when it was a good news and we were like, oh, great.
Consider somebody in the States paying 3 times more for a disc than they're paying now. People will still play, but new players would kind of not buy more discs and might take more time to get them involved.
The history of disc golf that they've kind of built here is incredible. I think they said 11 years they've known about disc golf, and I think the country of Croatia as a whole has less than 10 permanent courses. They've run 95 tournaments in Croatia, which is just insane to think about in the last 11 years. You know, they're averaging nearly 10 tournaments a year. That's with no permanent courses really in this area. So they're building these things. Like every week they're running a tournament, they have to build it. And that they're really the pioneers that are pushing Croatian disc golf. This tournament this weekend it's got 24 countries represented. I think that's the most countries in one tournament that I've ever played in. And they said they've had more in other events that they host. So it's incredible to see, and I've met so many people because of that, you know, because of what they're doing here. It's incredible, 95 tournaments for a country that doesn't have many courses. They have to clear all the stuff, all the brush, weed whack, get rid of all that stuff that you can only imagine on a disc golf course. And on top of it, they're not allowed to cut trees or anything bigger than this. Like, that's it. So they've designed this course without tearing apart the forest at all. I've definitely worked on some courses in my day, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this have as well. Now imagine doing that and getting a course ready in 2 weeks. The staff is 2 people. Like, the staff is 2 people, Dinko and Adrian. So those 2 pretty much do all the work on this course. Those 2 are just some of the hardest working people, and it's a passion because they don't get to play. I mean, they're still working every day. They're running the tournament. Like, they rotated the tee pads yesterday because some of the rain and the mud. They're able to get out there right after the rounds, right after we played, rotate the pads and get it ready for the final day. They're doing this, like I said, with 24 different nations. Like, those 2 are doing an absolutely incredible job, and hopefully this showcases the work that they've done. As far as Croatia, I don't know much about the scene, but it's been like such an awesome experience to learn the parts that I didn't know. From Zagreb, which is where we flew into, up to Varaždin, and then meeting the ones who have pretty much built Croatian disc golf with Dinko and Maya and Tina. We ran away because, one, it was really wet and it's very rough, so not all the pads were in when we were playing some of the holes. And I mean, it's a fun layout. Like, it could be really fun. Like, there's length, there's difficulty, but it's just very rough. We lost one disc kind of on a shot where you shouldn't lose the disc. Just kind of disappeared into the wood of the long grass. And there's there's mosquito flying right here. Tons of mosquitoes. I don't know if I'll ever fully know if I'm doing the right thing, because I feel like I can always do more. But one thing that I learned earlier this year was just, if you can just help someone and then go out and reach just one more person, that's something that stuck with me, was just one more. Just see if you can touch one more life. Like, don't be like, I want to change the world, I want to change this. Just change one life. And that goes such a long way, because if we can all just help one person, I think we'd be set. So it's the second day here in Croatia. Just left the hotel room. It's gloomy like it was yesterday, but there is no rain. So that is a blessing for sure, because we only got to play, Silver and I only got to play about 8 holes yesterday. So that was not fun, but of course has a lot of promise. So that was cool to see. Some of the holes are rough, but it felt good to get out there and throw. And it feels like it's time to play some good disc golf. I've been patiently waiting for it to start clicking, and it feels like it's finally at that point. You know, I'm throwing the shots with power, and I'm starting to understand where they're going. Tweaking a lot of things before I came and during. So you know, sometimes you got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. So that's kind of where I'm at with this right now. But yeah, headed out to go play a practice round with the tournament director and course designer, Dinko. I think he's gonna join and throw some of his favorite holes, but also walk us through the course and explain kind of how Croatian disc golf became a thing, because I honestly think they are pretty much the ones that brought disc golf to Croatia. So that'll be interesting and fun. Yeah, let's see it. What's the official name of the course?
Draw Forester course, Pro Forester layout.
Okay, Pro Forester layout, perfect. Yeah, I think we can just jump right into it.
Of course.
Let's do it.
Well,
it's not bad, I'll take that.
I would say that was awesome. Now I have to try to get halfway there.
Oh, lefty. I don't know why.
Halfway there.
I don't know why, but it's always a surprise when someone throws left-handed. All right, 2 off the first, just for good measure.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good.
Yep, let's go.
So Dinko and I are co-owners, we started it. Lagoda Disc Golf is all about spreading disc golf in Croatia.
Happy, comfortable, you feel special, and you feel like Lagoda, it's Croatian word, and that's what Lagoda means. You are happy, you are comfortable, and you're playing disc golf.
After a year or 1 year of playing disc golf, we decided to start it here, and we created Lagoda Disc Golf.
Our goal is to invite newer members and other people, like no age limit. We have the youngest member, I think he's 9-10 years old, to the oldest person, he's about 60 plus years old.
So we are installing courses, we are trying to sell them to as many parts of Croatia as possible. We have almost, you could say, 7 courses now altogether in Croatia. We've been organizing events.
95 or 96 PDGA events since 2012.
And the idea is to spread this great sport so that more people know about it. It's really great sport for the families, for all ages, for everyone. Everybody can play it, so we think this should be more popular here like it is in Northern Europe and USA.
Well, I would describe Dinko as really trying to make the courses and bring people as much as he can. Heads down to him for all the dedication or the early time he's waking up and staying on here. The first time I met him, he was already trying to bring other people to disc golf, to play, to help out, and just be a family.
Dinko is the most beautiful and workaholic person ever, and he will do everything for disc golf, for the disc golf community, for Lagoda, for courses. and I think his brain is working 26 hours per day, so...
He is my brother, so I know him since I was born, and he is really the type of person when he likes something and wants to do it, he will do it. He doesn't fear, he's not afraid of failure. I'm more that type of person who will always be like, are you sure we can do it? We need numbers? He's more like, okay, we will succeed. He's a positive type of guy, always looks on the bright side of life. I was always there to support, but yeah, he is the one that decides, okay, let's go, let's do it, we will make it.
This tournament's called the Pro Forester. This course is very unique because some of the holes we play on open, flat land, and then you dip back into the woods a little bit. It's still on the flatter end. There are some small elevation changes, but you go into some deep, thick woods, and the brush is very thick, and it gives me a very Northwood black kind of vibes, but it has that kind of potential to get that difficult in some ways. And it's just a temporary course. Like, they set this up less than 2 weeks ago. If you were like, hey, we want to host one of the biggest tournaments here, whether it's a pro tour or major or whatever, they could probably make this look really good and be a significant challenge to the top players in the world. How long is this course in the ground? Well, I know it's temporary, but...
Yeah, it's just set up during the tournament. So like we have one tournament in end of October, start of November, depending on the year. Drava Forester, that's the name of the course as well. And that's kind of a party tournament where players
come and enjoy.
Like to close the season with style.
Yeah.
And then that's one tournament and maybe one or two more smaller ones, and that's the only days that the course is set up.
Wow. There it is. So, what is this, we're playing around the arena, what's this arena used for?
It's the sports arena. It was built like 10 years ago for the World Handball Championships.
Oh, okay.
We were one of the, I think, 4 city hosts. And now it hosts all the kind of sports. At the moment, European RoboCup Junior, robotic sports.
Nice.
There was the World Bowling Championships some month ago. And then volleyball, basketball, handball, anything was going on.
Wow. Which way do we go?
Oh, anywhere to those
here.
stairs.
Okay.
So I think that's probably gonna work nice for those who are not following all the way.
Or if they just want to catch a couple holes.
Oh,
they're taking your bridge out?
yeah. Well, I have to go there.
They just took the bridge.
Pa nisam mu rekao ove godine, nisam mislio da...
This is the bridge that kind of connects the front 9 to the back 9, 8 to 9. And we were walking up these stairs and Dinko and I were just talking a little bit, and looks over to the right. And if you can see that truck way out there, you can see Dinko. When we walked by, midair, they had their walking bridge that connected holes 4 to 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if that bridge was there, the whole course would pretty much be a little messy, because it would add about a kilometer walk in between holes, and that is not what you want. Not what you want at all.
Well, we were at the right time, at the right moment, because the guys that maintain the creek and the area came here to pick up our bridge, because there was a miscommunication and the guys who are in charge of this did not get info about it from the guys up there. And luckily I was here, like they lifted the bridge, it tore apart, but I managed to be here. They put it back. We have to fix it later, but now it's just like 3
boards?
Yeah, 3 boards. So like you can walk over, players will be able to walk over it, and we'll fix it in the afternoon. We can continue the round.
I feel like I'm having an impact overall, and the easiest example is one that people won't see on here is what the gallery looked like last week in Estonia. I was on like the 7th or 9th card or something, and I had a couple hundred people following my card, and the lead card had maybe 50 or so, if that. I know when I was a kid, if I went to a basketball game, I still remember that basketball game that I went to. You know, I wanted to go see Kobe play. I still remember going to that game. He didn't play, he sat on the bench, but I still remember seeing him down there on the court, you know, like he was still there, and I still remember going to that game, you know, so hopefully, you know, this is those kind of memories and stories that they get to tell their friends or family or whatever, and maybe it inspires them to go out and do more with disc golf, or just, at least when they tell those stories, they're sharing disc golf. I know a lot of the European players are excited to see how they stack up against American competition. It seems like I've been here so much longer than I have because we've done so much, you know, in the last week. And it's just so cool how they've organized all this, gotten everyone here together to play this tournament, and just it's felt like a tight-knit community. Like it's really inviting and welcoming. You know, I felt very welcome from everyone who's traveled here from whatever country they came from. It's been really cool to experience, and I'm thankful to have this opportunity to be here and just play disc golf and have it all be because of disc golf. And I know I've made friendships that'll go beyond disc golf and that stuff. So yeah, just thankful and honored to be here. Well, Dinko, I just want to thank you for playing first off and showing me the course and just kind of the history of Croatian disc golf. And thank you for putting on this tournament. You know, this is incredible to see, especially a country that doesn't have a whole lot of disc golf. So I'm just honored to be here with you, and then again, just want to thank you for everything you've done.
I'm happy that you're around. We're going to grow to the sport in Croatia and around Serbia, Hungary, Slovenia, Bosnia together, I suppose, in the future. So yeah, I hope you will play as good as today in the rounds to come. And
thank you, and I love to hear that, you know, you want to bring all those countries together, you know, with disc golf. So
like for every tournament, we pretty much group up on tournaments in the region. Like we always travel to Serbia, Slovenia, Hungary, Bosnia. Not Bosnia yet, but hopefully soon.
Look forward to checking out the tournament and being a part of it. So, thank you, Dinko.
Good luck.
Thank you. That was really cool experience. You know, it's just so wild to think that they're having a tournament here that has at least 24 countries being represented in this one tournament, and they have less than 10 courses in their whole country, 10 permanent courses. So they're doing something right here, but just not finding the way to make it grow in the sense of courses and players. So hopefully, you know, some of the answers was exposure, and hopefully this does a little bit of that and is able to get the growth of Croatian disc golf going, because I think it has a lot of potential out here, especially with a temporary course like that. You know, I can't imagine what else they have to work with. So yeah, really cool experience. I'm looking forward to the tournament and just seeing how everything goes. When it comes to my game, you know, this year hasn't been to Paul McBeth standards, you know, as a lot of people like to say. Like, I'm still finishing solid, but, you know, I'm not getting the wins, not getting the podiums, the top fives like that. But it's just been like small things that are off, and it's so hard to figure those out. And the biggest thing, like last week in Estonia, I took 31st place.
Let's move overseas, Terry. You and I, we're going to pick up our lives.
Anybody can win over there.
Go over, oh, not anybody.
Okay, some people can't.
Paul McBeth can't win over there. Paul played poorly.
Unfortunately for McBeth, is absolutely news.
He was the highest rated player there, and he performed.
And one of the greatest of all time.
And he performed poorly.
And the drive is what's really been struggling for me this year. I just haven't been getting birdie opportunities. I haven't been giving myself many chances. And when I do get those, the putt's been feeling great, so I've been converting a lot of them, but I'm just not getting enough to keep pace. When you're on tour, it's hard to find the time to really dial those in and work on them. In a lot of people's minds, like, dang, he's hit rock bottom. He's not even whatever place in Europe.
He was terrible. He played the worst disc golf in a decade for him. That is true. For the first time in more than 10 years, he shot under 1,000 rated for an entire weekend. What in the world is going on with Paul McBeth? McBeth finished 31st, 19 shots back of the leader, to post his worst ever tournament finish outside of the United States.
When I got here to Croatia, obviously I'm like, I need to learn the course, but I want to fix my game more than anything. So I was on this course for hours, just in the field trying to figure out what's wrong with my drive. And it's so frustrating because I know what I'm capable of, but I'm not getting anywhere near that. And I know it's not because of lack of effort, it's just I'm not getting the right things figured out to where I'm still working on so much. So it's all great work. So I can't get frustrated that I'm not putting in the time. It's just not coming together yet. You know, I got the pieces, they're just not linking up yet. Finally figured out what the real issue was. And then as soon as that clicked, went in together, all my shots were completely different. Coming out with more spin, more velocity, more power, and just everything. It was smoother, I had control, I know how to throw a turnover, the angles, all of a sudden all that clicked back together. Like all of it clicked back together. And it's just a complete 180.
I agree, and I would expect all of these players to go with the hyzer. As you can see, Paul going very wide and high with an overstable distance rubber.
Oh! Paul McBeth off the tee, slams chains and basket, but does not stick it. You saw the spin and the heat that came in with. That is an incredible shot.
I've never seen a disc in the basket for so long before it popped out. Feels good, and I'm looking forward to continuing this trend in Europe and then continue it on to the rest of the year and continuing to drill these things that I'm figuring out, because if I can get the consistency down that I know I can, it's going to be a fun second half of the year.
And so in 2020, we were attempting to come over and film the European Open and start, making plans for the Euro Tour. However, as I said, we kind of launched right into the teeth of the pandemic, got back around to it, and again, European Open and Euro Tour was canceled. So last year was really 3 years coming. Our intent had never wavered. We had always been talking to European partners and always looking forward to coming over here and doing some event operations and media here. So it was a thrill. Last year, we certainly dove in, didn't know what to expect in a lot of ways. I think international travel, efficiencies, luggage, equipment, it's all kind of it's a learning curve.
So this is my first European Tour tournament, biggest tournament I've played in Europe, probably biggest tournament I've ever played. And honestly, if Paul McBeth was playing, I thought, I've got to do it.
Derek Robbins, I'm from England, and I had my first disc golf tournament in 1978.
I had a good opportunity with my friend Mike Hicks from Richmond, Virginia, to come to Europe, and I was like, I got to take this opportunity. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime almost. I think it was great for Paul to come over here, and I think it's probably bringing a lot of eyes onto these courses and these other players from Europe.
I've been coming to Varaždin for the Java Forester tournament for the last 9 or 10 years, and I've also played other tournaments here, so I always know that they have a good atmosphere, it's a lovely city to visit, and a great course. So yeah, when I found out they're having European Tour in the Masters division here, then it was a no-brainer, had to come. I think having Paul here is fantastic for the European Tour, it really is, because we need to see the best players and we need to be challenging them, and sure, there's half a dozen Europeans who are going out to play tours in the States, and that's fantastic, but obviously when we get the top pros come here, then so many more of the European players can, match their game against it and see the level that they need to aspire to.
Maya, Tina, and Dinko are I would say, the heart of this region of countries around, because they're really doing it professionally and taking it to the next level, trying to organize all these tournaments. And they put a lot of effort and work into it, and it's slowly but surely paying off as more people are coming here, more known, popular faces are showing up. Also, Paul McBeth came this year, this tournament now, and it's really great to see all these pro competitors coming here and just playing and bringing all the people to come and watch. Very nice.
I was chatting with Matej Well, I think, with PGA Euro Tour director,
I don't know where, but we talked about the dates of the tournament and how, because I'm planning the dates for the Austrian tournaments, and I was like interested, okay, and when are the Europeans gonna be? And he told me, yeah, we will have a pretty late Pro Forester this year, but the main reason is Paul McBeth is coming. I was like, yeah, okay, he told you he's coming, but I'm not sure if he's really coming. Now he was here, it was amazing, it was great to see, great to compare. On the holes, okay, I play this hole that way, McBeth plays it on another level. Very nice. It will definitely impact a lot, as like, I'm 100% sure we have like double the amount of spectators just of him, at least. And it will be even more on tournaments like Konopiste.
Sitting one major behind Ken Climo for the all-time record for MPO major titles. He's got 18, I'm at 17 right now. We've had one major already this year, Champions Cup, which is the newest major of the 4 major rotation. Next up's European Open, which I have a good track record there. I've only lost it twice out of the 7 times I think I've played it. That's my next opportunity to tie him, and then Worlds, of course, and then USDGC at the end of the year. So it'd be really cool to pass him this year, tie him and potentially pass him this year. If you want to be the greatest, you got to beat the greatest. So.
2021 champion.
We were making an investment in shining the spotlight on great events, great courses. You know, one of the big decisions that we made when we decided to come over was based around the courses. Best venues in the world, and then European Open. Åland Islands are, you know, the story there is well documented about the investment the country's made into it. Going to Estonia for the first time and then Spain for the first time. Very compelling in the locations. And like I talked about, we want to invest in the players. Having Paul just clicks this into a different gear. You know, like not only are we shining a light, you know, Paul in and of himself is his own a separate force. You know, it's like, you know, the McBeth Effect, so to speak. And, you know, seeing the crowds respond to him, knowing, you know, how well known, you know, his name and his contributions and just his philanthropy around disc golf, wanting to give his winnings to go and spread, you know, new courses around the world. I think is really, you know, made an impact to say, not only is this one of the greatest of all time, but this is one of the most philanthropic professional disc golfers doing something kind of just so unique and mind-blowing in the midst of, you know, maybe the prime of his career. The long-term vision is certainly to have the Disc Golf Pro Tour operating internationally. And there's a lot of growth in not just Europe, but South America, a lot of growth in Asia, a lot of growth probably everywhere, because this sport, once you find out about it, for most people that love the outdoors, love competition, or love, you know, even just the game of golf, you know, they are attracted to it, and it becomes a passion very quickly. And that's not cultural, you know, that's not just the US, it's not just Europe. It could happen with anyone in any culture, any human. We want to have Disc Golf Pro Tour events, you know, across the globe, but in Europe we do see a vision for a future of a unified, you know, Pro Tour, and we want to, you know, help make that happen. Our core value of collaboration is going to shine through, and pair that with leadership, and I think we've got something special to build on for the future.
The event so far has been great. We've had a gallery. We had a gallery the first day. Probably was about 100 people by the end of it. From everything I learned is they don't really get galleries out here in Croatia. They don't get people that come out and watch, new people too often. So it was really cool to see so many people out here. Day 2 was quite a bit bigger. Probably, I'd say close to 2, maybe 300 people. It's hard to tell when you're in the woods at certain points. So yeah, got a lot of people out here spectating. And then my play's been solid. I shot a 10 down, I think it was like 1070 rated, then shot a 9 down, which is like 1060. So playing more towards what I feel like I should be playing. And it feels really good. I know there's a lot to clean up still. I know there's a lot of things to work on, but it feels good to just be knowing where I'm throwing the disc and the angles that I'm hitting. I'm in the lead right now by 5. I know I told you earlier this week I was gonna win by double digits, so I need to have a great round if I wanna do that, because I've had two good rounds, I'd say. 2 good rounds, but I haven't had that great one yet. And if I can get one great one, I think I'll be able to reach that goal. And it's just been a really good event so far. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out the rest of the day.
That's it. Is that so low?
Paul McBeth.
Well, that's a wrap for the Pro Forester. Put together another 10 under. Another good, solid round, but still not the great round I was looking for. Just one really bad mistake on hole 10's tee shot. Just misplayed the wind, and it cost me a bogey. So really, you know, if I turn around and birdie that hole, I'm sitting at that 12 under I was looking for. But overall, great bounce back event from last weekend in Estonia, and a lot of momentum heading into Konopiste next week, and just kind of putting, you know, basically just speaking it into existence on what I wanted to do this week and how I wanted to perform. And just, you know, I put together 3 consistent rounds, but I know I can improve on shot selections and shots to where if I can keep that consistency but improve it by 2 to 3 strokes per round, it's gonna be really fun to watch. This week I've met so many people from so many different places, just really cool people, just learning like where their disc golf scene is, what they've got going on. Met with some Italians, same thing, talked with them. So it's really cool because I'm able to meet these people, and on top of it, like I have the Paul McBeth Foundation where we make these connections, and like that could be something that is a future project for us, or where now we have that bond and we're able to push disc golf further, help them, you know, even just show them like this is what we've found successful in the past. Maybe you guys can do it there. And if you need our help, great. If not, at least we can kind of help you get in the right direction on what you need and what it's taken for some of these projects we've done. It's just been great to have conversations with them. And we're all here because of one thing, and that's disc golf, you know, for our love of disc golf. So I don't think there's many other sports in this world where I'd have that opportunity. Just thankful for everything, you know, that the Croatians, you know, Dinko, Maya, everyone that's involved with making this tournament, you know, happen. So I'm just thankful that I'm having the opportunity to be here and play it. And it's just incredible to see so many people come together in one place for one thing. This is my second stop here on the Euro Tour this year. We're in Konopiste for the Konopiste Open. And I think this is my 4th time here. Each time I've failed to win, gotten 2nd and 3rd. Still looking for that win here in the Czech Republic. That's always the goal, so I'm happy to be here with another attempt to secure a win.